I showed up at OR number 9 at Albany Medical Center just like I had over 100 times before for a second trimester abortion. And I reached in with a sofa clamp and I yanked out an arm or a leg, and I just stared at it in the clamp and I got sick. And all of a sudden, I couldn't see what a wonderful doctor I was helping my patient with a problem pregnancy. I couldn't see her wonderful right to choose. I couldn't even see the $800 cash I just made in 15 minutes. All I could see was somebody's son or daughter. And it occurred to me in that moment that this patient had come to me figuratively, never literally, and said, "Here's $800, kill my baby." And I was the kind of person that would look her right back in the eye with no hesitation and say, "Why, sure, I'll do that, no problem." Something had changed. I became an absolute bear to be around. And I got into a blame game. I was feeling bad about the abortions, but of course it's not my fault. It's the girl's fault for getting pregnant. It's the nurse's fault for scheduling them. It's everybody's fault but mine. And my wife always knew when I had abortions scheduled because I was just all the worse complaining about these things. After a while, she'd had quite enough, literally packed a bag unknowns to me and was ready to leave with my son. And although we had never talked about the subject before, she talked about it that evening. And she made it very clear to me that it isn't the girl's fault and it isn't the hospital's fault and it isn't the nurse's fault either. It's my fault. And you stupid idiot, if you feel this bad about it, why don't you just quit? And the next day I went back to my partners and said I would no longer do second trimester D&E abortions. It was just too painful. A 20-week D&E abortion, a baby is literally the length of your hand, from the middle finger to your wrist. That's not counting the legs. And I know that people look up to physicians. You think of physicians as so smart. But when you finally figure out here and not here that killing a baby this big for money is wrong, it doesn't take you too long to figure out that it doesn't matter if the baby is this big or this big or this big or maybe even this big, it's all the same. To you watching this, you're an adult or you're an adolescent and there was a time in your life when you were a child, and there was a time in your life when you were a baby, and there was a time in your life when you were this big, and there was a time in your life you were even this big. But it was always you. There's only one you. So once I reached that point, there was no turning back, and I stopped doing abortions. I haven't done an abortion since February of 1985, and I'll never do another one.